Okay, so in the last class we were discussing about the force on a charged particle. So now today we will discuss force on a current element. Okay, force on a current element. So now we have seen already the equation, the force on a charged particle due to a magnetic field. So that we know Fm, so which is equal to Qu cross B. Okay. So now if you want to determine the force on a current element, so let us say this is a current element which carries the current and length, a differential length dl. Okay. So what is the force on this, the current carrying conductor which has a differential element or current element due to the magnetic field B? So we will take this equation and we will try to modify this equation. So let us take this equation as A. So now we know that using the convection current, so we obtained this one. So now we can obtain the equation using the convection current, whatever earlier we have discussed. So that J is nothing but rho V into U. Okay. So this is the convection current, so which we have seen. And even for the current element which we have different current distributions. Okay, let us take this equation number 1, and we have a different current distribution equation, that is for the current carrying conductor which is having IDL, and also which we can see in the surface current, so where we have the current distribution on the surface, and also the volume current. Okay, so this we have known from the earlier current distribution equations. So let us take this equation as 2. In order to find out the force on this current element, so we will just combining this equation 1 and 2, so that we can able to get the equation for the I into dl. So if I take that I into dl, so which is equal to, just if I take this equation, if I replace the J, so from this equation we will going to get rho V U into dV. So now from the fact that if we have the volume, okay, so if we consider the charge enclosing by the volume, so with having, so that charge which within that volume we can already know that is dq, so remaining term u. So we can also write this rho V into dV which is equal to dq, so into u. So and also alternatively we can write, so this IDL, so now we can write the I in terms of the charge, rate of change of charge, that is dq by dt I can write for current. Okay, so into dl. So this IDL also I can write like this in terms of the rate of change of the charge. Okay, and similarly, so this is equal to, so dq into u, so where u is the velocity where the charge is moving. Okay, so now that u also we can rewrite, so dl by dt, so the displacement by time or the distance by time. Okay, so that also we can write alternatively. So now if we equate this IDL, so which is equal to the differential charge into the velocity. Okay, so that is dq into u. So now this we have seen this elementary charge dq. Okay, so this elementary charge dq moving with a velocity u, so thereby producing the convection current, so which defined by this dq into u. Now this is also equivalent to whatever the conduction current which is flowing through the current element which is IDL. So now we can find out what is the force on the current element IDL due to magnetic field B, so which we have found from this equation we can able to find it out. So now by replacing this IDL, so in this whatever the Q, so if you replace that one, so you are going to get the differential force on current element which is equal to IDL cross B. Okay, so this Q into U, so that we are replacing with respect to this IDL. So that's how we are going to get the force. Okay, so DF equal to IDL into B. So that is what we are going to get the force, so due to the magnetic field, so through the current carrying element IDL. Okay, so now, so if you want the force, if we integrate with the line, so that is closed line, so we are going to get the force from this equation, that is ideal cross B. Okay, so this is what the force exerted on the current element ideal, so due to the magnetic field B. Okay, so now this, so we can take this equation which is 3 and this is 4 and this is 5. So now we have seen equation 4 and 5, so we will get the force. Okay, so we should know here that the magnetic field which is produced by the current element, so which is ideal, okay, so that does not exert force on itself. Okay, so this force is due to some other element which is there nearby it. Okay, so always this ideal, so the force will not exert on itself, but the force exerted by some other element which is around it. Okay, so some other element which is producing the magnetic field. Okay, so that is what equation 4 and 5 so says that it is the force is external to this current element, that is ideal. Okay, so now if I similarly if I write for the surface element and the volume element, we can write it as, so that dF which is equal to K into ds, okay, cross B. Also we can write for the volume, so which is equal to J dV cross D. Okay, so this is what the force equations for the surface, where the surface current is there, surface current distribution is there, and this is volume current distribution. And if I want to take the force, so integrate over the surface, you will going to get the force. Okay, so this is the force exert on the surface where the surface is there, which we have the surface current distribution. And similarly volume current distribution, so take the integration over the volume, you will going to get the force. Okay, so now that, so from equation 4, so whatever we have here, so that we can actually define the magnetic field. So since till now we are not actually define the magnetic field, where we have just assumed that the magnetic field wherever there is a current conductor, so there is a circular path, so where the magnetic field in the circular path or in the phi direction, which we have seen. But we can define here from the equation 4, it is the magnetic field, we can define it as force per current element, that is unit current element. We can have dF by ideal, that is force exerted by unit current element, that we can define it as a magnetic field. Okay, even alternatively we can define B from here also. So in the magnetic field point of view, we can define the this one the magnetic field B, which is equal to Fm by Q, so which is equal to U cross B. So that is force per charge in terms of the magnetic field. So similarly we have defined Fe by Q, which is equal to E. In the earlier Coulomb's law discussion, we have defined the electric field intensity, which is force by charge. Similarly here also in the magnetic field we can define Fm by Q. Okay, so this is actually the velocity which is carried by the even the charge particle in the current element or individual. Okay, so this is the force which exerts on the current element due to the magnetic field B. So note here the point is, so the force will not exert itself on the current element, but it exerted by the some other element which is placed nearby it, or the magnetic field which is produced nearby it. Okay, so this is what the force on a current element. So now we will see what is the force exerted between the two current elements. So we will place two current elements so nearby it. So how the force exerted by these two current elements one upon the other. So let us see that one. So we have the current ideal I1 dl1, let us say, and we have the source of excitation which carries current I1. Okay, so now similarly we have the current, the carrying conductor, which is I2. So let us take it is in the opposite direction I2. We have the source here, and we have some current element I2 dl2. Okay, so now we have to see what is the force between these two current elements. Okay, so what is the force which exerts differential force, so exert between these two current elements, or the force exerted by the current element 2 on 1, or 1 which exerts on 2. Now let us take this distance which is R21. Okay, so now we have already seen the equation which we know, so that is df equal to idl cross b from our earlier discussion. Okay, so this we have derived just now. So now we have considered which is the current carrying element, which is I1 into dl1, and similarly second one I2 into dl2. So now, so by Biot-Savart's law, which we have seen, both the current elements which produces the magnetic field, so that we have seen. So now we can able to find out what is the force, that is B of dff1 due to this differential elements. Okay, so the force exerted on element I1 dl1 due to the magnetic field dB2. Let us take the magnetic field produced by this element, which is dB2, and this one dB1. Okay, so now we can see what is the force exerted on this one, the first current element, due to the second current element, which is having the magnetic field dB. Okay, so now we know the equation, so which we have defined just now, the force due to current element. So now due to element 1, so the differential force due to element 1, so we can write it as I1 dl1 cross dB2, because the force exerted on 1, it is from 2, the magnetic field 2. So now from Biot-Savart's law, so that is we have seen the equation. From Biot-Savart's law, this dB2 can be defined in terms of the currents, that is mu naught I2, where the current is carrying I2, dl2, so cross AR21. So this is a unit vector which is along this direction. So this divided by the 4 pi R21 square. So we have already seen that B is nothing but mu naught I dl cross AR, so divided by 4 pi R square. So that in terms of dB2 I am writing here. So now we can replace this dB2 in this equation. So let us take this equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. So now substitute equation 3 in 2. So what we will going to get? We will get T of df1, so which will be equal to I1 dl1, so that is cross mu naught I2 dl2 cross AR21. So this divided by 4 pi R21 square. Okay, so now we can take, so whichever the vectors which are not there, so here we can take mu naught constant outside I1, and so that is I2 divided by 4 pi. So now if I take the integral of this one, we will going to get the force 1, that is force exerted on the element 1 due to element 2 or current loop 2. So now this we can write it as L1 due to L1 and L2, so that is closed integral of loop 1 and loop 2, so that we can write it as dl1 cross dl2 cross AR21. Okay, so that we can write like this divided by the R21 square. So now this is the equation where the force exerted on the loop 1 due to the current loop 2. So this is similar like where we have studied the force between two charges in Coulomb's law. It is similar like that. So where we have two charges, so the force exerted between or force between the two charges, so we can write, so similarly whatever we have done in a Coulomb's law, so here we can write, so force between two current loops we can write like this. Okay, so now this force, so even we can write the force F2. So just changing the subscripts of this, and we can write the force 2 on loop 2 due to the loop 1. Okay, so that just interchanging the subscripts, and we can get it the R12, so we can get an AR12, and here same I1 I2 but F2. So that we can write it as F2 equal to mu naught I1 I2 divided by 4 pi L1, the loop closed loop integral. So that is dl2 dl1 AR12 divided by R12 square. So this is what we can get for the force exerted on loop 2 due to loop 1. Okay, so this is what the force equations. So here, and also we have to note down here, so where F2 is equal to minus F1, because the force carrying direction which is always equal to the negative of the force, that we have already seen in also in the Coulomb's law. Okay, so where F2 is equal to minus F1 due to the unit vector direction which is flowing from 1 to 2 and 2 to 1. Okay, so here that is also true here also in the current loop case. Okay, so now even this is true for if you take the Newton's third law. So there is every action and reaction which magnitudes equal and opposite direction, so that also holds good here. So from Newton's third law. Okay, so every the force or action so which is equal and opposite. Okay, so that is also we can apply here. So that is experimentally done by Ampere and Oersted. Okay, so now this is the two important equations where we have the force exerted on the current element. Okay, and here the force between the current loops, so which carries current I1 and I2 in the respective magnetic fields dB1 and dB2. Okay, so is it understood? So any doubt in this? Okay, so if you can ask if you have any doubt. Understood? Hello, Deepika, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pranita, hello, Shankar, Yashaswini.
Yes, sir. Got.
Okay, so now let us take some problems based on this earlier discussion where the force on charged particle, current element and also between the elements. So let us take this problem. Okay, so now a charged particle of mass 1 kg, a charged particle of mass 1 kg and charge 2 coulomb, okay, starts at origin with zero initial velocity, okay. So now in a region where zero initial velocity, in a region where E equal to 3 times Az volts per meter. So where we have the field, electric field 3 into Az. So that in that region the charge with mass 1 kg and charge 2 coulomb, which is starting with original velocity which is zero velocity. Now we have to find the first one, the force on the particle, okay, and second one, the time it takes to reach the point, P, which is 0, 12 meter, okay, and third one we have to find out its velocity and acceleration, at point P, okay, and also find out its kinetic energy. Okay, so this is a problem. So now we know, so since there is an electric field, so the first one, so we can have the solution which is the force exerted on the charge Q, which is Q into E. Okay, so that we know already from our earlier Coulomb's law and all. So this we can write 2 coulombs, the charge which is given 2 coulombs, and in the electric field, so that is 3 into Az, which is equal to 6 Az Newton. Okay, so that is what the force exerted on this charge. Okay, so now we have to find out what is the time taken to reach the point. Okay, so where we have the point 0, 0, 12 meter. So now if I take the distance from the origin, so in the z direction, let us take, okay, so let us assume this is a 0, 0, 0 and this is 0, 0, 12. Now if I take the distance between this point and this point, so the distance will come out to be 12 meter only. Okay, so that's why from this, so we can take it as distance as 12 meter. So now we know that, so the force which is equal to m into a, that is mass into acceleration, and also which is equal to the charge into electric field intensity, that also which is equal to this equation. So now we can take m into a, which is equal to q into e. Okay, so that we can, so acceleration also we can write in terms of its velocity or distance. So that is velocity equal to distance by time, or acceleration equal to distance by time square. Okay, so where we have this one meter per second and this one as meter per second square. So now if I substitute this one, m into d by t square, so which is equal to q into e. Okay, so now we can able to calculate what is the time taken by the charge moving from origin to this distance, which is having a mass of 1 kg in the electric field, which is 3 into Az. Okay, so now t square, which is nothing but m into d divided by q into e. Okay, so that we can substitute. So the mass is 1 kg, the distance is 12 meter. Okay, so divided by q is, so that is 2 coulombs, and this one is 3 volts per meter. So all are in SI unit. So if I just calculate this, 12 by 6, which is equal to 6. So t square equal to 6 seconds, or t equal to, so root of 6 seconds.
So 2 seconds. T square is equal to 2 seconds.
What?
T square is equal to 2 seconds, sir.
Yeah, sorry. Q into 2 seconds. So that is the square root of 2 seconds. So this is what t we will going to get. Okay, so now once we get the time taken to reach the point, now we can find out its velocity and acceleration at point P. Now at point P, so now we have to find out at point P what is the velocity and acceleration, so that we can write velocity v, which is equal to d by t, so that we have seen here. So we can take this as u. In our discussion we have taken the velocity as u. Okay, so this will nothing but 2 by, that is 12 by root 2. So we can get this value meter per second. Okay, so similarly we can get the value of acceleration, that is acceleration equal to distance by time square. So we can put it 12 by, that is 12 by 6, which is equal 12 by 2, which is equal to 6 meter per second square. So this velocity we can find out what is the velocity. How much is the velocity?
8.48.
Yeah, 8.48 meter per second. So this is what acceleration and the velocity. So now we can find out what is the kinetic energy, that is given by half into mu square. So that is the mass into velocity square. So this we can write half into, the mass is 1 kg and the velocity is 8.48 square. So now we can find out how much joules it will come, the kinetic energy. How much it is coming?
35.9.
35.95.
joules.
Okay. So this is what the kinetic energy. So now have you got it? Any doubt in this? So how we can able to find out? So now let us take one more problem. So uniform E and B fields are there. Uniform E and B field. Okay, uniform E and B fields are oriented at right angles to each other. Okay, so an electron moves with a speed of 8 into 10 power 6 meter per second at right angles to both E and B fields. Okay, and passes undeflected through the field. Okay, so now first one we have to find out. So find if magnitude of B is 0.5 Weber per meter square. So find the value of E. Okay, the second one, so will this filter works for positive and negative charges and any value of mass? Okay, will this filter work for both positive and negative charges and any value of mass? Okay, so this is what the problem. So now here you can see uniform E and B fields. So this we have to note it down, and these E and B fields which are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so where E and B are perpendicular to each other and the charge moves perpendicular to both these things. So this is, say for example, X, Y and Z. Okay, so now the charge is moving so perpendicular to both these directions. Okay, so in the uniform fields, that is E and B, which are uniform and also they are right angle, and when electron moves in this uniform field E and B, okay, at a speed of 8 into 10 power 6 meter per second, so now it is not deflecting by both the fields, that is either it is not deflecting to this direction or this direction. It is exactly right angle, it is passing through and it is undeflected. So now we have to find out the value of E. So with the value of B, which is given by 0.5 Weber per meter square. So now we know the equation, since there is a force on this charge which is equal, because it is not deflected by any, so near to the magnetic field or electric field. So that's why the force are equal. Okay, so the magnetic force or electric force which are equal. Now we know this one is QE, which is equal to Q into U cross B. Okay, so now E, which is given by U cross B. So since only the magnitude of the field is given, so we can write, so that is 8 into 10 power 6, the velocity of the charge, into 0.5, so whatever given field. So this will give 4 into, so this is milliweber, sorry, so 0.5 milliweber, okay, which is given 0.5 milliweber per meter square. So if I take that 0.5 milliweber, so which is 10 power minus 3, which is gives 4 into 10 power 3. So this is the electric field intensity, or we can write E equal to 4 kilovolt per meter. So this is what the electric field intensity which we are going to get. So now will this filter work for both positive and negative charges? So yes, definitely, because it is both are right angles to each other and there is no deflection happens, so when the charge moves, okay, So it will work for both positive and negative charges and also for any mass. Okay, since both Fe and Fm are equal and right angles to each other. Okay, so this one, so the answer is yes. Okay, so this is one another problem, so where we can find out E and B. Okay, so now let us look at one more problem. So between the force between two current carrying the elements are loops. Okay, so let us take this one, a rectangular loop, carrying current I2 okay, which is placed parallel to an infinitely long so filamentary wire, so which carrying current I1. Okay, so now which is shown here, so as shown below. Okay, so now we have to show that the force experienced by the loop, which is given by F, which is equal to minus mu naught I1 I2 B divided by 2 pi, so which is into 1 over rho naught minus 1 over rho naught plus A, so in the direction of aeromootor. So this much force it is exerted from one loop to the infinitely current carrying element. So we have to show this one. So the figure which is given, which is the current carrying element, the infinitely long current carrying element, which is having current I1. Okay, so this is the origin, and from the distance of A, okay, so where we have the loop. Okay, so this loop, let us take this loop which is current, that is carrying the current which is I2. Okay, so like this the current carrying loop, and this distance which is A and this distance which is B. Okay, so now this is in the direction of rho. Okay, so this is, so we have to find out in the rho direction the force between these two elements, or the force experienced by this loop from this current element. So that we have to show like this. So now we can assume the current element through the loop F1, F2, F3 and F4. Okay, the force exerted by these small current elements. So let us write that one. Okay, so which is on the rho direction, which we have the current element I1, so and where the distance A, the loop which is having current carrying I2. So now let us take this force which is due to the loop FL, and the force due to the current carrying element, which is nothing but the force due to wire FW and FL. Okay, so now this is in the rho direction, so where we have this one B and this one A. So now let us take this force exerted by the one, only the first element 1, so F1, and the second element F2, and this third element F3, and similarly fourth element F4. Okay, so let us take like that, and we can find out what is, so F1 to F4. So now this F1 to F4 are the forces exerted which are on the sides of the loop. Okay, so now we can total force F1 to F4 we can treat it as the force due to loop. Okay, So now we can see the magnetic field B due to this current carrying, the infinitely current carrying element which we have already calculated, which is given by mu naught I1 divided by 2 pi rho naught into A pi. So this is a magnetic field, the direction in the pi direction. So this we have already seen. Okay. So now we have to see what are the force, independent force from this loop. So now let us take F1 which is due to this side, so side 1 of the loop. So F1 which is equal to the current which is carrying I2, so into the integral of dl2 cross B. This is well known, the equation due to the B1. So just now we have seen force between due to two elements, where we have taken the force exert on this loop due to this magnetic field B1, we can write. So on this side we can write F1 equal to I2 integral of, so dl2 into B1. So now we can write this one I2, so integral z equal to 0 to B, because in this element the variation is from 0 to B. Okay. So in the what direction, so this we can take it as z direction, because we are dealing with rho phi z. Now dz az, okay, so into the force due to B1 which we have known, mu naught I1 by 2 pi rho naught, so into A phi. Okay. So now we can write this force 1 which is equal to, so since az cross A pi, so which is minus A rho, so that we can write it as mu naught I1 I2, so mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi rho naught into, if I integrate with respect to z, it will give z. So 0 to B, if I substitute z, it will give B. Okay. So in the z direction of arrow. Now we can see this, we can see the force is attractive in nature. So this is going into the, so the direction which is going into the current carrying element. So this we can have attractive force. Okay. So now similarly, so we can calculate the force on the loop 2, where we have the even F3, because it is F1 and F3 which are opposite in nature. Okay. So that F3 we can, from B to 0 we can calculate. So first we will calculate what is F3. Okay. So now F3 which is given by, again, so which is I2 integration of dl2 into P1, which is equal to I2, it is from B to 0. Okay. Z equal to B to 0 dz az, okay, into mu naught I1 divided by 2 pi. So now we can see this current element, so at a distance of A. Okay. So that, so the starting point here it is A. So but again if I take this one, so from here, from this point it is having the distance A. So that we can, so have that the rho naught plus A. So where we have the distance in terms of rho, if we calculate, so that is rho naught plus A. So that we can write. So here rho naught is nothing but rho naught plus A. So in the rho naught direction, where we have, so plus additional A, it is due to this distance. Okay. So now we can write that one. So F3 which is equal to, again it is in the direction of A phi. Okay. So now we can write this one. So mu naught I1 I2, so mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi rho naught plus A, so into the minus az into A pi minus arrow direction integration of B to 0 dz az. Okay. So now if I integrate this one, it will going to give minus B, okay, minus mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi rho naught plus A, so minus arrow into, so z, if I substitute z, that is B to 0, so this will give, so the minus 0 minus B, so minus into minus we can write it as plus. that is mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi into rho naught plus A into B. So this is in the arrow direction. So now we can see here the sign is positive, so that it is repulsive. So both current carrying elements which is having the positive, okay, so you can see here, so both are so in the opposite direction, so it will be in the repulsive. So now similarly we can calculate what is the force on F2. So that is due to this element, so where we have the force which is going in this direction. So now where it is varying from rho naught to rho naught plus A. Okay, so this distance we can take it as in the direction of rho naught, which is equal to rho naught, so where the radius. So that if you calculate what is F2, so which is equal to I2, so integration of which is rho equal to rho naught to rho naught plus A, so that is in the direction of d rho into a rho direction. Okay, so that is what your dl. So into the mu naught I1 in the direction of A5 divided by 2 pi rho. Okay, so now since there is a variation of rho, so we can take this as a variable rho, and we have to differentiate with respect to rho, integrate with respect to rho. So now if we do that one, F2 we will going to get mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi, so integration rho equal to rho naught plus A, so this divided by d rho by rho in the direction of a rho into A pi. Okay, so this will give the direction, unit vector direction AZ. Okay, so now if I integrate this one, it will give ln A, so that we can write it as mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi into ln of, if I substitute this one, rho naught plus A ln minus rho naught ln of rho naught, that we can write it as ln of rho naught plus A by rho naught in the AZ direction. Okay, so so integration, which is nothing but ln rho, if I substitute that upper and lower limit, you will get ln rho naught plus A minus ln rho. So ln A minus ln B, we can write it as ln A by B. So that is what we have written here. So this is what the force F2. Now similarly force F4, which is nothing but opposite to this, which we can write mu naught minus mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi into ln of rho naught plus A divided by rho naught in the direction of AZ. So now these both are parallel to each other. Okay, so the direction it is the parallel to the direction of this, whatever the force carrying current element. So now we can add all these forces to get the force due to the loop, which is equal to mu naught I1 I2 B divided by 2 pi. Okay, so this into, so again you can write 1 by rho naught minus 1 by rho naught plus A. So if I add all these things, you will going to get, so in the direction of minus A rho. So this is if I add all the forces F1, F2, F3 and F4, you will going to get the force due to the loop. Okay, for the force on the loop, so we will get this equation. So which is actually again minus, which is attractive in nature. Okay, so this attractive force trying to draw the loop towards the wire, that is both whatever we have the current carrying wire, it is trying to attract that loop. Okay, so that is what so we are going to get from this one. So now, so if I just consider from this equation, if I specify what is I1, let us take I1 equal to 10 ampere and I2 equal to some 5 ampere, and rho naught, so which is the distance between the current carrying conductor and loop, so where we have specified rho naught, let us take that as 20 centimeter, and A equal to 10 centimeter and B equal to 30 centimeter. So if I specify all the terms, so here, so what is the force we can able to find out. Now we can able to find out what is the force on the loop, so which is nothing but mu naught into I1, which will be having 10, and I2 which is having 5, and B which is having 30 centimeter, so this divided by 2 pi into 1 by rho naught is 1 by 20 centimeter minus 1 by, so rho naught is 20, A is 10, 20 plus 10, 30 centimeter in the direction of minus 0. Okay, so now we can find out what is the force. So we can write mu naught, it is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 into, so this is 10 into 5 into 30 into 10 power minus 2, this divided by 2 pi into, if I take centimeter outside, 10 power minus 2, and we have 30 into 20. If I take LCM 600, which will be having 30 minus 20 in the direction of minus 0. So now we can calculate what is this value. So 10 power minus 2 gets cancelled, and we have 2 pi 2 times, and so this will give 3000. So 30 into 10, 300 into 10 again 3000 into 10 power minus 7. So this divided by, so 600 into the value, which is, sorry, here it is 30 and here it is 20. Okay, so we have 10 minus 10, sorry, plus 10 divided by 600 in the direction of minus 0. So we can calculate what is FL, which is equal to, so 5 into 10 power minus 7 into 1 by 60. So what is the value? Just you can calculate. The direction of minus 0. So this we can write it as, again, so calculate the, what is the value? So we can calculate what is the value. So we will going to get that force. Okay. So that is what the force we will going to get from this. If I just take the values, so like this. So this is what the problems. So can do similar kind of problems and practice it. So if you have any doubt, so you can ask.